In this part of your AQA GCSE revision course, we're going to be looking at warming up. And as you can see, you need to know and understand these key components of a warm-up and apply examples. So the exam board have given us a number of key things that you need to know that are involved in the warm-up. So let's have a look at those first. First of all, you need to know that one component is gradual pulse raising. We'll look at each of these in turn in a moment, but the first one is gradual pulse raising. The second one is stretching. And incidentally, I should say that these images here hopefully will help you to remember and have an understanding. Let's go over the page. You've then got skills-based practice or familiarization, and again, an image there to support your understanding, mental preparation, and the last one is an increase of the amount of oxygen to the working muscles. So those are the 5 things that you need to know, the components you need to know for the warm-up. So let's go back and have a look at each of those in turn. So first of all, the first one is a gradual pulse raising. Now the first point I want to make about this is please make sure that you use this word gradual. So the examiner will be looking for that specific term. So it's not just pulse raising, it's a gradual pulse raising. And let's have a look at what we mean by this. So low intensity exercise, which is performed at the start of a warm up to slowly increase heart rate and body temperature. And that's the bit that references back to gradual. To slowly increase heart rate and body temperature, which then prepares the body for more intense physical activity. So an example you can see, I've got somebody skipping, but you could use any example you want. It could be a light jog around the outside of the hockey pitch before a hockey match, for example. And as I go through with these examples, I'm sticking with the theme of preparing or doing a warm-up for hockey. So let's move on to the next one, which is stretching. So what do we mean by stretching? So exercises that gently lengthen muscles and improve flexibility. And this is also preparing the body for physical activity and reducing the risk of injury. So the reason that we stretch, they're to improve flexibility, to improve the range of movement around a joint, which means that that's going to help us perform better. If I'm talking about hockey, it means I'm going to be able to make those stretches to make those tackles, for example. So an example then, we could do all sorts of different types of stretching activities. Could be leg swings, arm circles, walking lunges. Again, as I said there, to increase or enhance the range of motion before a hockey match. So if we go on to the next page, the next one we have to look at then is skills-based practice. So you'll be familiar with this when you've done your warm-ups just before a match. And that word there as well is used for familiarization. So what this means is getting used to doing the skills that you're going to be doing during the activity or during the match. Okay, so doing skills that focus on doing drills that focus on specific skills and techniques required in the sport. So you can see here you've got the image of the netballer making her shots. So we could say passing and receiving in hockey before a match or shooting in netball. I'm sure you're all familiar with that particular type of activity as part of the warm-up. Mental preparation is about focusing the mind and preparing for what lies ahead. So hopefully that image there will help you. And so what we're talking about here is those activities that focus the mind, they're reducing anxiety, they're building confidence. So we might be visualizing, we might be using positive self-talk and relaxation techniques like breathing to enhance performance. It's all about getting ourselves in the correct calm mental state in order to perform as well as we possibly can. So some examples of a hockey performer, he or she might visualize, might see herself performing well on the pitch, maybe taking a penalty corner. They use deep breathing exercises to calm their nerves, and they're going to be saying positive statements about themselves, about what they can achieve and what they can do to boost her confidence and give her that focus that she needs. And lastly on this one, let's look then at the increased amount of oxygen to the working muscles. So we know this before from our cardiovascular system, so this is actually just reiterating points that hopefully we're already familiar with. We're doing our warm-up activities because that's going to increase blood flow and heart rate, and we need to increase blood flow and heart rate because we want that increased circulation delivering more oxygen-rich blood to the muscles. And of course we need that oxygen-rich blood to the muscles because that's going to provide the energy to enable the performer to work aerobically and improve overall performance. And so again, my example for you would be going for a jog or jogging before a hockey match.